My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, welcome back. Today, our special guest is Nick Stromwall. He is zooming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Nick is an experienced real estate investor. He's a tech kind of guy, and he's really looking to help people, especially folks that are faith-based, faith-driven leaders. We'll talk a little bit about that. He's also a crackerjack skier, from what I hear, and likes to ski and Whistler and whatnot. So, Nick, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a joy to share the things that I'm learning and also learn from you as well.
Awesome, Nick. So, hey, give us a quick little overview, because I know you do several different things in real estate these days. Let's zoom out for a minute. What is the Nick Stromwall real estate investing endeavor? What does it look like today?
Yeah, so really started, I was a college pastor here in Twin Cities. We mentored college students and they'd go on these summer trips. And my wife and I found myself feeling like, man, we want to support these kids, but we need some extra money to do that. So
pastors don't always make a ton of cash.
That's right. So we tried a lot of different side hustles, even charging those electric scooters downtown Minneapolis. As I did my research, everyone who's ever created wealth, part of their story was real estate. So got on the real estate bandwagon. I went to 10 banks before the 11th bank said yes on my first investment property. But that, $600 a month cash flow from that duplex produced this is cool. If we could do more of these, this would be great. So we acquired a small portfolio, tried our hand at an Airbnb. We started having kids, and I found myself running around town trying to fix all these different properties, deal with tenants. And I said, there's got to be an easier way. So that's when I discovered real estate syndications. I took an underwriting course, joined a community, hired a coach, and then just really figured out, wow, there's actually a way outside of the stock market to generate truly passive income without having to go over and fix stuff all the time. So I started raising capital for multifamily, started my business, Oak and Vine Capital, and just started looking for great partners in various asset classes and locations. So I've raised capital now on 14 different syndications, have over 100 LPs that are active, around 1,000 people in my database learning what it means to invest. But really the vision was I wanted to be generous. I wanted to help people learn a different way than maybe their financial advisor was saying for how they could really generate resources. And, in our world, people are searching after this idea of financial freedom, that magic number when your passive income exceeds your ordinary expenses. And I'm kind of like, man, why don't people 10x that? What if people started living on 10% and then just giving the rest away? So I'm a fund manager. I have a company where I raise capital. I also work for Rise 48 Equity. I'm the vice president of innovation and efficiency there. And I'm just bringing my love of using technology to serve people in a company that's grown quite large over the last 6 years. I partnered with the team on 5 deals last year and had an awesome opportunity to join. So it's been a real joy partnering with some hungry, humble, and smart people.
So if I'm reading between the lines there, Nick, you started off doing your own thing and very, very active, quickly got tired of that, learned about syndications, started investing passively in syndications, then started becoming a capital raiser. Were you typically like a co-GP on deals and bringing capital to the table? Is that what your primary?
Yeah, started off doing joint ventures, then did co-GPs, and now have since done primarily fund-to-fund structure.
Okay, very good. But that is the main thing with your Oak and Vine business. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then last year you did 5 of these JVs or co-sponsor type deals with the guys at Rise 48.
Yeah.
You liked that a lot. They liked you. And so that's where you started working together, more working in their business, correct?
Yeah, I just missed being a part of a team, missed doing bigger things with more people. It can be lonely when you're a solopreneur. And just started seeing the type and caliber of work that they were doing and wanted to be a part of it.
Very cool. So one of the things that kind of popped out for me because you are a very active capital raiser. You've been doing that for a while. You've got your own list of 1,000 people. I believe you said how many, 100 and how many active investors do you have?
About 100 active investors. Yeah.
Okay. But what I loved about looking at your LinkedIn profile is how specific you are about your quote unquote avatar that you're going after. So
Yeah.
faith driven leaders. So tell me a little bit about, well, I think I get where that comes from. You were a college pastor. That's very important to you. How did you come up with that target avatar, and how has that played out for you with the hundred and some active investors and the 1,000 people on your list?
Yeah, great question. It's hard to niche down. It's hard to choose who you want to target, and it really just starts with figuring out who you are. For me, what's really important to me is incorporating my faith in all that I do. Even learning like what does it mean to partner with God in my business. Might be sound strange, or it might really attract someone.
Mhm.
But I think there's a tendency. There can be a tendency in the faith world that to acquire wealth automatically means something negative or evil versus using your wealth for good. We lived
Mhm.
blocks away from where George Floyd happened. We were very, very involved in the cleanup efforts. And when you just kind of show up to serve people, there's something really, really different with that type of mentality. And in the world of alternative assets, many people have just never been exposed. People maybe used to hitting singles in the stock market. There's nothing wrong with the stock market. I think it's a great place to invest money. But when you can hit, doubles or triples, getting cash flow appreciation and tax savings, three of my favorite features of alternative assets, it's a great way to build a legacy because I think there's a lot of people out there that their end goal is financial freedom. For me, that's just the starting point. I want to 10x that financial freedom goal because there's so many issues in this world that need to be tackled and solved. We can't do it alone. But if we have a big vision for how we can use our resources and our opportunities to serve people, I think that's actually really attracts people in. So for the longest time, I helped busy professionals. That's like the most common thing you probably see online. But then I
Yeah.
started thinking like, what does it actually mean for me to be a capital raiser, to help people in this way? Well, I was a college pastor. That's a big part of my story. And those are the types of people that I want to help because they do have, a legacy vision that's more than maybe just funding their kids' college or, down payment of their kids' house. They have a vision of they want to create some long-lasting change, not only in their communities, but maybe across the world. So that's what really drove me to do that. I kind of went all in, and the crazy thing happened. When I went all in, I started attracting the people that I was actually trying to serve.
Well, putting my marketing hat on, that's what I'm really interested in
Yeah.
is let me kind of reframe what I understood you to say there, Nick, and correct me if
Yep.
I'm out to lunch there. So faith is obviously hugely important for you.
Yeah.
Early days in raising capital, you're doing what everybody else was doing and like, hey, I help busy professionals, and you weren't getting much traction with that. And then you kind of clued in that, you know, success in real estate for you goes beyond covering your day-to-day expenses with passive income. You saw the potential to 10x that, and you know, not only cover your daily expenses, but have 10 times more that you could use for whatever you want for helping the causes that are important for you. And then you also realize that a lot of other people that are faith-based, it's more than just securing retirement for themselves or putting their kids through school. They also have bigger visions. So your why to success in real estate, you realize could connect really well with the why of other faith-based people. So you decided to start going after them. They picked up on your vibe that you're legit, that this is truly important to you, that you come from that background, and you found that that just kind of naturally attracted more of these kind of people. Am I understanding that properly?
Yeah, and even to drill down more specifically, I think to become the person that I would say God designed you to be, you got to take risks. You got to push
Mhm.
yourself past what you think is possible. And for me, the greatest fear is if I start posting about money or real estate or alternative investing, will people think Nick's just concerned about those types of things. And until I
Hmm.
was able to say that fear out loud and then engage it, I wasn't able to go all in on that avatar. So it takes a coach, really. It takes someone
Hmm.
in your corner that believes in you, whether it's a marketing coach or a business coach to really help you navigate who you are and how to connect with the people you're trying to connect with. And now I'm starting to get some of my dream clients. I've got two main avatars that I kind of speak to. One of them is Ryan. He's in his 40s, multiple kids, is making good money in sales, maybe. He's probably tried his hand at an investment property, but he's sick of managing it. So I then often share my story.
Right as Nick a few years ago,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, the funny story is, I had a house with a bunch of girls living in it. They had a problem with the light in the bedroom. So I was like, all right, you tried replacing the light bulb, right? And they're like, yes, of course. So I was like, take a video. And I was like, oh man, it must be something with the wiring. Loaded up my gear, was going to take apart the wall and put all the wires in. I get there and I'm like, you know what? I'll just try a light bulb that I brought just to make sure. And sure enough, it was the light bulb. It was one of those LED bulbs. And you have to be a good landlord, so you're small talking with all the tenants, and it's like half your day or all your day is gone. That's just a small microcosm of when you start having kids, you get farther in your life, time becomes so much more
Yeah.
valuable, and you have to
So
be able
that's Ryan. That's
to.
one avatar. And then
Yeah.
who else?
Jason's in his 60s. He's got a huge IRA balance. He's just kind of being exposed for the first time to alternative assets. And then he finds me and we connect because he's got a big vision for, a foundation, a legacy for his kids, his children's children. And I help provide those opportunities to reach those goals.
So when you say faith-driven leader, what does that mean?
Someone who's
Like what
involved
is
in their local church, someone who identifies as a Christian. They connect well with my story.
Mhm.
I'll help anyone multiply their money and impact, but I tend to attract the faith-driven people because of my story, because of my why, because of the projects that I'm involved with. I want not only multifamily housing units that deliver a 2x return over 3 to 5 years, right? But I want to create communities in those buildings. So we put in community managers. We do monthly events, and the crazy thing happens when you serve the people that you're there. They want to stay there longer, right? And then that
Mhm.
ends up helping your financial return too. So it can't just be about money. It has to be something way deeper than money. Money is the starting point in will I partner with this person, but there's got to be a component of service and the partners and operators that I've raised capital for. I'll have that as part of their business plan.
So Nick, once you kind of dialed all of this in, it sounds like things got a lot easier for you. What but it's still not it's never a cakewalk. It's never a complete walk in the park sort of thing. So what do you find works best for you these days besides word of mouth and referrals for connecting with new investor prospects?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing podcasts. I love writing content on LinkedIn and engaging on other people's content. There's a degree of the law of reciprocity. When you give and you serve other people, we write on their content, you end up attracting, a bigger audience. Just this week, I had someone find me online and probably going to be one of my largest investors. But that doesn't happen because I wrote one LinkedIn post. It's been
Mhm.
years of grinding and waking up early and really thinking how I'm going to communicate my story with other people. So it's not a one trick pony. It's not just LinkedIn or social media or podcasts. It's everything. You
Yeah.
kind of gotta do it all.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So in the multifamily space over the last few years, things have been a little bit shaky. Things have been a little
Yeah.
bit rocky with some folks. Interest rates going up, insurance rates going up,
Yep.
utility rates going up, rents going down in some areas. Um, you know, how has that affected you guys and your deals?
Yeah. Well, at Rise 48, we've had 60 acquisitions over the last 6 years. We've had 11 full cycle deals, and around 20 of them got caught up in that interest rate hike, when it went from 4 to 8. So, there's lots of ways to handle that. There's, forced capital calls or, mandatory capital calls. We've done preferred equity capital calls where we're giving our investors a yield on the new money. But at the end of the day, it's just fighting hard. You got to find ways to
Mhm.
increase the income and decrease the expenses. And when you have a team that's all working towards that goal, there are creative solutions to that. We're mainly investing in Phoenix, Dallas, and the Carolinas, and those are markets where while there's been some negative organic rent growth because of new supply coming on, this is the nice time of the season where that's going to kind of start switching, where we're going to not only be able to force NOI growth through renovations, but to start to see some of that organic rent growth start to happen now. So,
Because of lack of supply.
yeah, and
Mhm.
for every 100 deals we look at, we might only put offers on one or two, and I think
Mhm.
that's the volume of the amount of deals that we're looking at really matters too. And we're looking for those sweet deals like we found most recently, where a family member inherited a property because their parents passed away, and they just didn't want to do it. So those are the types of 20, 30, 35% off type of deals that we're really targeting to be able to give our investors those strong returns.
Awesome, Nick. As we're wrapping up our conversation here, what are the plans for the next year and a half for you?
Yeah, kind of started off the big milestone was raising $1 million of capital. Then it was five. Then it was 10. Rise 48. We're trying to raise between 350 and $400 million of new investor capital this year. So it's just battling hard to connect with people, share the story, present the opportunity, and when the time is right, have them invest with us.
Makes sense. If people want to connect with you, Nick, where should they go?
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn, Nick Stromwall.
All right. We'll put that. Well, yeah, it's pretty easy. Nick Stromwell, that's what it is right there. So we'll put that in the show notes as well. Nick, this has
Great.
been a lot of fun. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.